Hey, what's up everyone? James here, and today we are back with Autocracy Chapter 4, Cause and Effect. So this chapter opens in Kaon at the entrance of the jump joint, and we see a few Decepticons guarding it, and one of the locals passes by and says to one of them to tell Megatron the locals are pulling for him. I like this a lot actually, because even though Megatron conquered Kaon and took it from the Autobots, it shows that the locals, despite that, are on his side. We then go inside the jump joint where we see Megatron and Orion Pax are having a meeting, and Megatron is telling Orion how corrupt the Autobot government is, but Orion says he's always been aware of this. Megatron then calls Orion out on using his anger and cynicism to hide his idealism, when deep down he still truly believes the Autobot government can be changed from within. Orion tells Megatron he doesn't know him, and mentions if his Decepticon thug lays even a scratch on Bumblebee, then their discussion gets heated. I have to say, angry Orion Pax is growing on me. Megatron just smirks and says how it would be a shame if things turn violent, and tells Orion how he was impressed when he tried to challenge the government and proposes they work together. Orion refuses and just calls Megatron a criminal posing as a revolutionary, but Megatron quickly claps back saying you're a revolutionary posing as a cop, and tells Orion they would accomplish great things together. As they're having this discussion though, we learn Orion is expecting reinforcements when Ironhide calls him over the comm system to inform him that heavy transports are inbound and to continue to stall for time. Megatron reveals quite a bit here to Orion. He tells him that information on his team being an Ion was leaked to him from someone on the inside. He then shows Orion the recording of the Autobot Security Council back in Chapter 2 that Soundwave procured, and shows him when Zeta said that he planned on taking the people of Nion's Energon after he burned their homes to the ground. Orion asks Megatron why he showed him this, and Megatron replies that Zeta possesses a new weapon, which we know to be the Vampire Ribbon, and tells Orion Zeta will kill everyone in Nion, including them. Orion tries to brush off Megatron, thinking what Megatron is saying is too far-fetched, but Megatron also reveals to Orion that Zeta Prime set him and his team up. He sent them into Nion hoping they would be killed so he could use their deaths as a pretext to invade. When Orion asks Megatron, "What do you want from me?" I love Megatron's response. He says, "I want you to accept that your true enemy is the Autocracy you serve. I want you to help me bring it all crashing down." Now, before Orion can answer, Ironhide informs him over the comm system that reinforcements have arrived. Orion then kicks the table and yells, "Autobots attack." Suddenly, Hound, pulling a Selene from Underworld, comes crashing down through the ceiling, guns ablaze, taking out Decepticons here. Proud joins the party, blasting away as well. Megatron says to Orion, "Well played, I underestimated you," and Orion replies, "You usually do." He then calls Ironhide, who crashes through one of the walls, saving Bumblebee. Orion tells Megatron he's lucky his team comes first, but Megatron isn't fazed at all. He says to Orion how he's been trying to take him down for 3 cycles now, and asks Orion how far he and his team will get when his army holds every sector. Orion replies, kicking Megatron in the chest, saying far enough. The Autobots then blast their way out of the jump joint. Ironhide informs them that transport is inbound, and the transport is the greatest, strongest, and smartest bot alive, at least that's how he would describe himself, is Skylink's son, who says, "Load up boys, we're taking fire and the meter's running." All of Orion's team successfully get on board, but as Skylinks begins to fly away, Ramjet tells Megatron he's got a clear shot on Skylinks, but Megatron orders him to let them go, saying with what Orion has learned, he will do more damage to the Autobot cause than we can do in 100 cycles. Later, back at Iacon in the Autobot Control Center, Zeta tells Orion he is an embarrassment to the cause because he didn't return with Soundwave's intel. However, Orion says he did gather intel, and then proceeds to tell Zeta he learned his plans to wage war against the citizens of Nion. And Zeta just says to Orion to not pass judgment on him and his actions, and tells Orion he lacks the subtlety and strength of a true leader. Orion replies, "I think we were set up," but Zeta just brushes it off as an excuse. He tells Orion he has no time for his excuses and conspiracies, and threatens Orion should he fail him again, he will leave him to the Decepticons. Zeta gives Orion and his team a new mission, to apprehend an insurgent, the same one who bombed the warehouse after they captured Swindle. He tells them the intel that he's received has identified this bomber as someone new to the insurgency who's already proven to be cunning and fearless, and someone they don't don't want joining the Decepticons. Now, if you're confused as to why Zeta is referring to this insurgency group and the Decepticons as two separate entities, it's because they are. Yeah, the Decepticons are essentially an insurgency group, but at some point between Megatron's origin and to now, another one was formed by some of the people of Cybertron. And I do wish Autocracy explained this in the beginning, or if there's a story I missed before Autocracy that explains this other insurgency group, please let me know in the comments down below. Now back to the story. When Prowl asks, do they have any leads, Zeta replies, just one. The mystery bomber's name is Hot Rod. And that's the end of Autocracy Chapter 4. I hope every one of you enjoyed this video. Be on the lookout for Chapter 5. If you love Transformers content, check out Transformers The Last Spot Standing, or check out Transformers The Shattered Glass playlist I have here. Other than that, have a fantastic day, and always remember every day to go beyond.